we're now starting to see how bad the job market actually has been and still is. So, Wall Street Journal came out with an article over the weekend, and they said that there is about an 8-month time frame for you to find another job. So, unemployed office workers are having a harder time finding new jobs. More than 1.6 million unemployed workers have been job hunting for at least 6 months. That is a horrendous time. So in this video, we're going to go over what you can do and how to eliminate risk, some key takeaways that I have, and we're going to look at some what's going to really sabotage you when you're going to be let go, right? So when you go down there on the article, it says that people have been working for about looking for a job for about 8 months, and it is absolutely detrimental when you're looking for a job for 8 months and you just can't find anything, right? And so here we go. So this is from Olivia. My life is on complete pause. Who was laid off after 3 months at her new company, a 30-year-old from Chicago, and she has found some part-time work, but it's not enough money, and she's hunting for a full-time job. And this is a situation that many Americans are in. So there's still plenty of jobs, but they're just not paying good. And so Josh, 42, from Atlanta, was laid off from his job as a testing manager at a robotics startup in April. He has applied to almost 500 jobs, interviewed for 6, but he received no offers. And in this article, you can kind of hint on what and where the job market's going. So it is much tougher to get a job, where bosses are aiming um, to be replacing you with AI, aiming to be leaner, and in some cases replacing workers with AI. And for all of you guys that have been saying, "No, AI is a scam, it's not ready yet," it doesn't have to be ready. If your boss thinks it's great, then that's what's going to happen. If C-suite thinks that that's what we're going to do, it's going to be done. And so here we go. So this is um, another person who's been talking about working at part-time at Publix because they just can't grab it. They just can't grasp any opportunities. And more people getting unemployed benefits and drawing on the public aid for longer. And so here we go. So Will, 36-year-old visual design in Austin, Texas, has been freelancing since 2019 after his position of education nonprofit has been eliminated. He spends 40 hours a work job searching, has applied to hundreds of full-time jobs, and he has nothing. We're at times where he'll put in applications in at 1 a.m. and 3 a.m. and you get notifications saying that it's been rejected. So it is applicant tracking systems that these companies are using and all these other things, and it's making it really hard on you. So hey, just really quick, please hit the like and subscribe button. Most of you guys are not subscribed, so make sure that you subscribe so you get my videos all the time. I appreciate it. The labor market has been weakened. That's what they're going to go over, and it is just an absolutely detrimental situation. Here you can see a graph of your workers' unemployment at least 27 weeks, right? So there's a lot of people being unemployed because unemployment, depending on which state and how long you qualify, doesn't last forever. And when you look at the hiring differences in each sector, from 2020 to 2024, a lot of them are making cuts, leaner, and preparing for recession, saving up the money, right? And more people have been forced to switch industries to land a job, right? And something that comes to mind to me is when I'm looking at all this is like, as Americans, we got to go where the jobs are, right? And I know people are going to be like really mad about this, but when there's good opportunities, you got to take opportunities. You got to move from wherever to make the money to do that. You got to pick up and leave and go to another spot. That is one of the things that I always tell people, like, hey, apply for jobs that you're qualified for and put on there that you're willing to move. And once you're like, hey, I can meet you, I can do that, and you're willing to move, all of a sudden it opens up new opportunities and you can do that. And now you're saying, and I hear this a lot, I hear this in my calls too, where I help people find jobs. They're like, well, I have my family here. Then ask your family for money. And then like, I can't do that. Then go there where the jobs are. Because if you're going to lose your house, you're going to do all that, you're going to be drained on your family anyway. So tell them now, like, hey, I need money, or then move where the jobs are. And I know a lot of people moved a whole bunch of different places to get jobs. And now I'm always curious about how these people apply, because let's watch this recruiter see what kind of resume she gets, and then people on the internet, like some of you guys, wonder why you're not hearing back. So let's watch it.
I'm not trying to hurt your feelings. My name is Lauren. I've been in HR for almost 10 years, and I'm going to tell you the mistake you're making on your resume. I've looked at thousands of resumes in my career, and the one thing that drives me absolutely crazy: fix your email. Fix your email. I am not hiring Skater Boy to work in my office. I'm not. If your email has an animal name in it, a crazy thing in it, just know. If you are applying for a job, your email should just be your name, a variation of your name. First name, dot, last name, at, whatever. I cannot tell you the most ridiculous emails I've ever seen, and I'm like, why? You had to type that out on your resume. And I get it. A lot of us made emails back in the good old days when it was like AIM. I don't want your gamer tag. I don't want your high school nickname. I want your name. I have to type that in to email you back. And if I feel ridiculous doing it, I'm not emailing you back. This is the first time you've ever looked for a job in your life. Get a new one. I don't care where it's at, Yahoo, Hotmail, whatever. Fix your email. And I'm not hiring you if your email has 420 or 69 in it. I'm not explaining it. If your email is already a variation of your name, good on you. Y'all have a good day.
So this woman is hitting the nail on the head, because in my job search community, where we help people find jobs, I'm getting emails from people, I can't find a job, and then it's like, so where are you sending your email? And it's like Fluffy Boy Lover 22. And I got somebody messaged me today, hey, can you help me find a job? And their email is MF706. And it's like, these are not emails. These are not professional emails. And when you're going to look at that, then it's like, these are emails that you get from, hey, we're running a scam right now for $29.99. Your Facebook account has been hacked and you got to do something. And that's why I'm always like, you got to fix the simple things. If you fix some simple things in your job search, you're going to be all right. But if you can't, if you're naive, you're stubborn, and you don't think you're God's gift to earth, because there's a lot of you guys that message me and say, I sent 1,000 applications. I sent 1,000 applications out, and then you're like, I'm demanding a job now. It's like, well, that ain't happening. And so you got to be fixing these things. And nobody wants to be sitting in an interview with an entitled person, right? And we all have these friends that think that they owe the world to, right? And all this kind of other stuff. And you're probably like, I don't want to hang out with this guy. And so what do? You're like, I can't this time. And you go out and you do other things with your other friends. And so be the person that they want to hire. Be the person that's like, hey, I can help you. I'm good to work with. And I'm doing the right things with the right emails, with the right stuff. And I've been getting a lot of emails. Well, it worked in 2019. Well, it's not 2019 anymore. It's not 2022 either. So fix it and get over it. And now we're going to go into a little bit of a detour in this video, where I see these people talking about, oh, I've been 8 months unemployed. I've been 8 months unemployed and I have no money. And I hear a lot of you guys in my comment section do not like what Dave Ramsey says. Like, oh my gosh, taking out credit card debt and everything. And I don't like Dave Ramsey because this and this. And I've been down a little rabbit hole of, Dave Ramsey. I see during times like this, he's always reasserted, because he always gains even more popularity, because we're seeing now who's been skinny dipping. And I'm not against credit cards, not by all means. But what I've learned from him basically is that debt over a long period of time is going to introduce risk to your life that you're not in control of. And when you have a lot of debt and you're making good money, that is fine. You're good. But now what happens if you're unemployed? And that is what's the issue. It's not, the debt isn't the issue. If you're raking in the dough, you have the best job, it's not an issue. But if you lose that job, then all of a sudden that debt does become an issue, and that is the risk that he's trying to take from you. And he's just applying it through the masses, so he's got to take a hard stance on all these credit cards and everything else. But if you introduce a lot of unknown uncertainty with a lot of debt over a lot of period of time, it's not going to end well because you can lose your job. You can lose your income. And then one thing leads to another, and you're going to be in trouble. And so, how do you avert that? Well, you can't make stupid decisions. And I've seen this all along with a lot of people in my life that have the lifestyle creep. They they uh they buy new things, they get a new job, they get a promotion, and then it's like, oh, I got $100 more a month or whatever. I got a raise. I'm making 10 grand, 20,000, $50,000 more. So I can buy that new apartment. I can buy that new car. And this is what America has taught you to be like, let's just go out and spend that extra money. And then at the end of the month, you're still the same amount off as you were with your old job, just that you got a fancier apartment and you got a nicer car. And if you want to live for a fancier apartment and a nicer car, then you, by all means, do that, because as an American, you have the gift to do whatever you want, right? And so for me, I'm always like, how do I put insurance into place for stuff like that? And that's why I try not to take an uncalculated debt or risk that I cannot, that can come and bite me in the long run. Because if you have a good job right now, you got to be putting away some money for savings and making sure that you don't make stupid investments. And as you're getting older, as I'm in my early 30s, I'm starting to notice that a lot of people in their 40s and 50s are just trying to chase shiny objects. They're like trying to make it rich. They're trying to, oh my gosh, I missed out on the Bitcoin curve. If I would have invested $10,000 when it was only 200, I would have become millionaires. So then they go out and invest a shit ton of money into random stuff, trying to chase all these lucrative things that I was like, I want the nicer things. I've been working my whole life. And then you gamble with your retirement money. And as you're gambling with your retirement money, it is not good. Only gamble with the money you're willing to lose. So when I'm like talking to you guys, and there's a lot of people on here that are very, very smart in my comment section, and then I'm also getting some people that are just naive as you can be and are saying that, I'm never going to do this, I'm never going to do that. And this is just stupid advice. And I always say, it all comes due. All the bills, all your actions today will come due tomorrow. And what do I mean by that? Is when I say good habits lead to good outcomes, right? So if you're starting to hit the gym, you do it the right way, and you're gonna eat healthy, you're gonna use your body as a tool, and you're gonna be better, you're gonna treat people better, you're gonna have a better fruitful outcome, right? You're gonna have better relationships, you're gonna be more healthy, you're gonna have less body pain. But if you treat it like a dumpster and you're just gonna eat a bunch of junk food, you're not gonna go on walks, you're gonna live an unhealthy lifestyle, you're gonna just burn yourself out, and then you're gonna treat your body that way, it's gonna lead to more medical stuff and other drama down the road, right? So habits is key when it comes to financial planning, when it comes to job searching. And so you always got to think about what you're gonna do when the tap's gonna come due. You can drink beer on your credit card a long time till all of a sudden the bartender's like, let me just ring you up. And when then the credit card declines, you're in trouble. So it's better to just cash it out every day and be like, you know what? I had enough. Let me just cash it out for today. And then I'm gonna come back tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow I shouldn't drink beer. Maybe I should drink water and start changing your habits. And so can you do with job searching. You can educate yourself. You can join free communities. You can join help groups. You can join meetups, and you can all these things to better yourself. But it's always at a cost, because these things always require effort. Never ever can you do something that doesn't require effort. If it doesn't require effort or money, it's most likely not worth having. So think about this when you're going to be submitting your applications, when you're submitting your job stuff, if you're unemployed, or even if you're employed, to keep your job. You got to hit quotas, you got to make your boss look good, and you just got to be not going in there guns blazing and just being calm, mellow, and being somebody that they want to work with. And all of a sudden, this world will change, and it's going to change for the better for you and for the people around you. And Yeah, there's a saying in Switzerland, is how you scream into the forest, the way it's gonna kind of come back at you. And so I'm always saying that you gotta do the right things, and do the right things when nobody's looking. So this is kind of like a more of a motivational video, even though it kind of started off as like, hey, you're 8 months in job searching and all this kind of other stuff. There's a lot of opportunities out there, but you gotta be willing and ready to take these opportunities and make sure that these opportunities, you can cast your net onto them and not have a bunch of holes and then be like, I didn't catch nothing. Yeah, I can see why. I can see it from a mile away. Your net is full of holes. You can't catch anything. But if you use the right techniques, you do the right things, then all of a sudden you have opportunities coming to you. And this is for all these haters. If you're a hater in the comment section and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna write, all these bad reviews, most likely that's your personality. And who wants to work with somebody like that? And I'm not saying don't leave hate comments. I love it. I engage with you regardless. I think whenever somebody takes that time out of their day to write about me or a comment, I think that deserves a response. And I'm always trying to be positive because that's the image I want to betray. I don't want to betray the asshole or anything else. I'm just trying to be, hey, maybe you can learn something. I learned a lot from you guys too, where you guys left some very thoughtful, very fruitful comments that made me think, yeah, that way of thinking is probably outdated, and maybe that is the new way of doing it, and time will tell. And so when people say, oh, we're going to go to universal income, I'm like, hey, that's one theory, and I don't know if it's coming, but a lot of you guys seem that that's going to be happening. So we'll see. I'm not going to say no or yes, because frankly, all it needs to do something like that, to do a change like that, is enough money from lobbyists to make it happen. And then all of a sudden we're here with universal income. All it needs is Congress to fund it, and then the Senate, and then the president. And with enough money, you can make anything happen. So I never write it off. I would never write ideas off like that, because you just don't know if there's enough money behind it. Somebody's else gonna make a shitload more. You never know. So what do you guys think about all this? Please like and subscribe if you watched for so long. I appreciate you guys watching this video, and I love you guys, and stay tuned for the next one.